What's up, you guys? I hope you're doing amazing today. I just wanted to share a quick couple things with you to empower you, to impart some of the wisdom of God just through His Word, and share something with you, man, that may be a different perspective that will encourage you to be the light of the world that God has called us to be. Now, there was a word that went out. There's been a prophetic word and things that have been spoken about exposure over the last several years. And I believe that some people have taken that wrong. And the reason why I believe that they've taken it wrong is because just simply what the Bible says. So their perspective, and again, I'm talking about eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil rather than the tree of life. Their perspective leads them to believe that when the Bible says exposure, that they're supposed to go around exposing all the dark things. In Ephesians chapter 5, Paul makes some very simple statements about what darkness is, if you take a look at it. And he talks about sexual immorality. He talks about telling dirty jokes. He talks about just several things that are darkness. And then he says that, but you're the light, so you don't walk in those things anymore. And he tells us, but rather expose the darkness. Now, here's the thing. He says, because it's shameful to even speak of those things that are done in the darkness. Now, I want you to compare that to what's been going on when people say that they're exposing and how much they're talking about darkness. Now, that contrast and that comparison leads you to really see the truth in that that's not the way exposing should be working if we're not even supposed to speak of the things that are in the darkness. But rather, expose them means that when we begin to make the decisions to do what the Bible says is right. So when people ask you to go to the party and go get drunk, you don't do it. When people are going out and they're picking up men or women and they're having sex with them, you don't do it. And by making those choices, that is the light shining into the darkness. Now, one of the things is we don't really believe in the power of light that's within us, so we don't recognize that when we make that decision to choose light over darkness, that the light really does shine. So when someone asks you to go do those things and you say no, because God is in, the light shines. The light shines. And that is how darkness is exposed. So I wanted to encourage you and empower you that maybe what God means by exposing right now and exposing the darkness, maybe that means that He's empowering those of us that are in the light to walk in righteousness, to not be a gossiper anymore, to not be getting drunk, to not be getting high, to not be having sex with people out of wedlock. Maybe what God is doing is He's empowering us to live in the light and as the light, because we are the light of the world, as we should be. Be blessed, y'all.